What's up? So today, guys, we're coming at you with something a little bit different, but I think that this is going to be a really important and even meaningful video. Considering the millions and just millions of people that play Fortnite, there is a question that not only hasn't yet been answered, but it has hardly even been asked. A question that is so glaringly obvious, yet part of every single Fortnite player's experience. And I don't understand why no one has posed this question before. And that question is, why don't shotguns spawn in chests? Now, with Fortnite being out for over 8 months now, this is something that I think has just become part of everyone's day-to-day Fortnite experiences, but it's a question that Epic Games has never answered, not once. So you know what? I'm gonna answer it myself. So today we're going to be answering just that. Why don't shotguns spawn in chests? And not only am I going to be giving you guys one answer to this video, but I'm actually going to be doing 3. One answer is based around statistics, another answer is based around rarity, and then there's one more that's a little bit out there, but it's the one that I believe to be true. Anyways, the first theory that I have, and this is probably the most structured of the 3 theories, probably the easiest to explain, is simply rarity. This is the easy answer, but it's not the best answer. So if we want to talk our basic shotguns today, we have 1 white tack, we have 2 green shotguns, and 2 blue. If you want to do the math on their actual rarities, that's 60% of these weapons being less than rare, which I would consider generally not good. With rifles, on the other hand, we have 2 gray, 2 green, 4 blue, 5 purple, and 2 gold. Comparatively, only 26% of rifles are less than good. And ultimately, what I'm getting at is basically, if you just want to break it down, there is a higher percent chance of getting a good rifle from a chest. So it makes sense that rifles, good weapons, should be in chests. And if you think about it, normal pistols, revolvers, these don't spawn from chests either, and it's probably for the same reason that they're bad. And that would also explain why in modern day Fortnite you can get the gold and purple heavy shotgun from a chest. And that's when we run into the problem of our first theory: purple and gold heavy shotgun. Because the heavy shotgun is not the first epic shotgun to have existed in Fortnite. In fact, it was the purple tack. Back before Fortnite changed up the rarities, we had the green tack, which is now the white, and the blue tack used to be the purple. So while the rarity argument sounds surface level good, it just doesn't make sense. Okay, well that's gonna take us to our second theory, and this is the diluted chest pool theory. I feel like Matt Pat or something, or maybe a professor, but listen, it's how we gotta do this video. Okay, so this is what I believe to be a much deeper theory, and it's much easier to support it, but I still don't think it's fully sound. It's obviously not simply based down to rarity, because there used to be a purple tack, and they should have included that set of weapons if they were going to include all rare weapons. And when I say rare, I don't mean literally rare, but like anything above green. And shotguns have obviously never been in chests, so we kind of want to look towards the beginning of things. And again, this leads us to the diluted loot pool theory. What if when Epic originally coded chests, they were worried about there just simply being too many weapons? Especially back in the day, chests were a little bit more uncommon and definitely looked at as a very rare thing. And when you were going to open a chest, you kind of had high expectations. Now today, it's just a white burst every time. But seriously, back in the day, Epic Games didn't think the pump was good at all. So what if they were just like, we don't want to dilute this awesome loot chest with bad weapons. So they're like, let's just put no shotguns in. And I think if you tie the rarity concept to this idea, we're starting to piece together a little bit better of a puzzle. And I would say if you tie in this concept with the rarity, put them together, we're getting a better idea of the image. But it still leaves a lot of things unanswered. The original SMG could still be found from a chest, and that basically completely throws that idea out the window. If you wanted to argue that the pump shotgun was bad, and originally Epic Games really did look at it that way, it doesn't that idea doesn't stand up when you also consider the fact that the SMGs were in chests. And on top of that, Fortnite has added a million more things into chests, like healing items, and new weapons, including shotguns. So that theory has a little bit more legs to stand on. I think if you combine the two, you've got a good, solid answer, but I think there's more to it than that. There's a strategy that a lot of people know in Fortnite. I don't think it's the most obvious strategy, but it's something that most good players know. Picture this, you're spawning into Pleasant Park, and there's a lot of people going for the same house. You've got no other place to go. Where do you land? Do you land on the roof, or do you land at the door? Well, the worst player might land on top and go for the chest, but most good Fortnite players know that they want to land at the door, get into the main floor of the house quickly, get in there early, the first one preferably, because what is lying around but shotguns? Nothing but tack and pump galore. And we really need to look back to the roots of the game to really understand this. Epic Games is really smart, and I think they knew exactly how good shotguns were from the beginning. Not even so much that they knew how good they were, but just simply how crucial they are at the start of a game. Maybe they didn't expect shotguns to be the #1 subclass of weapons in the game, but I think they had a pretty good idea of what their weapons could do. And I genuinely think that this was an intentional implementation to the game, because you need to think seriously deep about the whole landing situation. If you choose to land on top of the building, you are getting a chest. Players value chests. They're very good things, okay? You can get really good weapons from there. High reward, okay? Maybe you'll get a chug jug. You'll probably get some shields. So you're going to be going down and through the rest of the next minute or so with a chance of something really good. But I would also argue that chests have the chance to give you something very bad, and more importantly, something very bad in the early game scenario. Now, realistically, especially with the update to the pump and attack, there are great odds of finding a shotgun in a house. So in my opinion, if you really think about it, it's almost like a high risk, high reward, or go for basically safe and conservative. You can go for the chest, maybe get a gold scar, maybe get a heavy shotgun and a shield, or you can go what I would consider the smarter route and just go into the house, get any sort of shotgun. But ultimately, you don't have to do that. You can go for the high risk, high reward route, and maybe that will pay off. That's a lot of Fortnite, is taking risks, taking chances, and sometimes they play off, sometimes they don't. And ultimately, at the end of the day, my theory is just essentially that I think it's a very intentional thing. We don't have these good weapons in chests because it makes things very exciting. It's another one of those subtle yet huge game designs that I really think makes Fortnite what it is. And maybe it wasn't intentional. Maybe, it was the same as rocket riding, where it was a thing that wasn't even supposed to be in the game, and they're like, yeah, that's a good idea that we didn't even mean to do, but let's keep it in. And even if you don't agree with that theory, I think that we could probably agree that some sort of combination of all three of these notions is the real reason. But hey, that's just a theory. I can do that because I'm 50% MatPat. No, but seriously, that is just a theory that I thought was incredibly interesting, and more importantly, it was a question that nobody talks about, nobody answers, and I have been wondering this forever. There's really nothing out there on this idea, and I don't know, I've just always been curious, so yeah. Anyways, if you guys are new to the channel and enjoyed the video, if you could please subscribe, that would mean the world to me. If you're already subscribed, I guess leave a like, cause why not, right? And go tell your friends to leave a like, something. I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys very much. I'll talk to you later. Peace out. You freaking nerds. There's two answers that I think are. There's two of these answers. Two answers. The first two of these answers. Three different answers. So if you think about it. So in my opinion, if you really think about it, what if when Epic originally coded chests,